Today we are here at Antioch Park. We've got Matt Evans from Ryan Lawn and Tree with us, and you are a certified master arborist. So first off, let's just talk a little bit about why is it beneficial to have a professional come out to your house versus a non-professional when it comes to checking on those trees?
So I always encourage clients to work with arborists that are certified through the International Society of Arboriculture. And they've got a website and everything that you can find information on to verify that that person has those credentials. And that person has earned those credentials by being in the industry for a certain amount of time and then taking a test, a physical test, to prove knowledge related to a broad range of subjects related to the field of arboriculture.
Why is it important to have somebody come out there to help mitigate the risk of limb loss and damage, especially this time of the year?
Every time we have a storm, we see large limb failures that sometimes cause damage and sometimes don't. And a big concern for clients is the possibility of a limb failing or a tree failing and damaging something on the property. So it is wise to have a professional look at your trees and determine the level of risk associated with them, and then weigh that out against your tolerance of risk.
And when you're trying to determine that level of risk, what are some of those factors that you're looking for?
We look at the tree and we analyze the parts of it that have a higher probability to fail, and then we determine if those failures would impact anything important, and then on top of that, we determine the severity of that.
All right, so tree number one, what are we looking at here?
So I always start at the bottom and work my way up. First, the root flare. And you can see on this tree's root flare, there's some decay in the bottom of it. So that means we have a hollow inside of here, and we also have decay. You can actually see the fungus that is in a way decaying the base of the tree. So this tells me that the base of this tree has a higher probability of failure. Not necessarily that it is going to fail, but it has a higher probability of failure than a tree that didn't have this defect.
And now we're checking out tree number two. Okay. What do we have going on here?
This is the defect that is our biggest concern as arborists.
Okay.
This is what we call a codominant limb, which the other tree that we looked at had one single stem. When we have two limbs of the same size that originate from the same location, this branch union is extremely weak. And when we have tree failures, this is our most common area of failure. Even though it looks strong, we don't have wood tissue that binds across it.
Okay.
We actually have it, in a way, a crack that runs down in between there. So when we have a wind load on the tree, it makes it really apt to fail. And when we work our way up the tree, we look at the canopy. And the other thing that concerns me here is there's a really large dead broken limb in the top of the tree.
Oh yeah.
And that has a high probability of failure as well.
And so what would you do about that?
If we were to lower the risk of this tree through mitigation, we would address this right here through either pruning or cabling, and then we would also just remove that. So we could just climb up in there and take that portion out of the tree.
So when in doubt, call the pros.
Call the pros, exactly.
Turn to Ryan Lawn and Tree for certified arborists who can provide tree appraisals, risk assessments, and more. Contact them today at ryanlawn.com or call 913-381-1505.